be sharing with you on the University of Life. The University of Life. The University of Life. It's not Covenant University now, the University of Life. Life University. The University of Life. Can you help me with this slide? Life is a school. Life is a school. It's a school. And interestingly, in this school we learn, we unlearn, and we relearn. Life is a school. And in this school we learn, we keep learning. We learn, we unlearn. There are certain information or thoughts and ideas and ideologies that we may have had that were wrong. So we unlearn them. And then we relearn. And interestingly, there's no graduation from this school till death. There's a great man called Rick Warren. Very amazing man. He's a great preacher, teacher, leader. He wrote a book, The Purpose-Driven Life. And I recommend that book to all of you, The Purpose-Driven Life. And this man said that life is a school. And problems, challenges, difficulties, they are the curriculum. Mm-hmm. You know, you have your curriculum for CST1 something, your GM, do you still do GST, right? Or GST 2, whatever. They tell you this is the curriculum of the course. So life is a school, and problems, challenges, difficulties, those are the curriculum. Now, when you go to school, you of necessity, you must go through the curriculum. True or false? You must. You must. A student that runs away from the curriculum of a course will never graduate. So life is a school, and problems are the curriculum, challenges. Life is a place where we learn, we unlearn, and we relearn continuously till our time is up. Till our time is up. And as I said, interestingly, no one ever graduates from this school of life until the person crosses over to the other side. So you can still be learning and inventing and creating things at 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Has any of you been to the Ark, the new church? Have you been there? Physically, I don't mean watch the video. You've been there? Okay. But have you watched the video? They played it in your chapel, right? Did you like it? Okay. Now, can you imagine the chancellor telling some of us that are privileged to be leaders that that's not the last church we are going to build? He said to me one time, he said, Steve, the Ark is already completed in my mind. We finished it. I'm already thinking of the next. It's just going to be 70 next year. So his mind, he has left this realm that we are still trying to finish Ark and say that's the biggest church in the world, the whole world is gathering, blah, blah, blah. He's already thinking of next. So there are no limits to accomplishment, no matter the age. No limits. No limits. There are no limits. So you can start doing great things from your youthful days and keep doing great things and accomplishing greater feats till your last day. Many of us know KFC, Kentucky Fried Chicken. Some of you have invested there powerfully. You won't know that the man who started it at a very old age. I think at 70, 60 something. 80, no, I don't think it's up to 80. But either 60 or 70. Let's say, please cross-check KFC when it started, the owner. But at an old age, when everyone would have thought that there's nothing else. Some years ago, I was somewhere in Texas, and I went to a building, very high-rise building like that, very high-rise building. And When I looked at the logo on the building, it was called Mary Kay. You know Mary Kay? Come on, don't pretend now. I know you know it. Mary Kay? Right? Many of you have contributed to her prosperity. Now, high-rise building, standing in a very strategic place. And they told me that that's Mary Kay's headquarters. And I said, see what our African women have sent their money to build. Now, I was told that on the top management of the company today are some of her great-grandchildren, great-grandchildren, and all that kind of cadre. And I began to reflect that who said one cannot start something that your generation after you will be building on it? Who says that? So there are no limits to accomplishment in life. All of us here, we are just starting. Where God is taking us is very far, and you will all get there. Life is a school, and you are here to pass all the tests. Challenges will come. Difficulties will come. Tough things will come. Situations will come to shake you. You will take some steps. You will knock yourself down. Am I dumb? Why did I take this? That's part of life. I share some of the stories of these dumb steps I've taken also. But it's part of life. It's part of the adventure. And I said problems are simply part of the curriculum that appear and they fade like algebra class. Many of you don't like maths. But the lesson you learn will last you a lifetime. The lessons that you will learn will be speaking for you for years to come. In fact, you'll be teaching others that, hey, I made this mistake. The way I'm teaching you now, that don't go and sign any contract without reading it. Now, you may have laughed at the money I lost. But when somebody brings it, I say, I know, there's a business. Just bring 10 million. You say, and so, I remember something happened to Steve. It won't happen to me. And then you settle down, bring the contract, let me see it. They bring 50 pages. Can I have time to read it? They say, no, you have to sign. I say, carry your thing and go. Does that make sense? Okay. So when problems come, they are just part of the curriculum. But the lessons that we learn from them last us lifetime. May I say this here now? I don't know why I'm having to say this, but I believe it's for somebody here. You may have gone through some situations in life at some point in time that may have broken you as an individual. That may have literally torn you apart and made you look worthless to yourself. But should I tell you one secret to overcome hurdles of such nature? Learn the lessons, forget the details. When you make mistakes in life, which we all make at different times, learn the lessons, forget the details. The reason why you learn the lessons so you don't repeat the same error. But the reason why you need to forget the details is so that you don't live in the past. The past has a way of holding you backwards and keeping you from advancing in life. Does that make sense? Learn the lessons, forget the details. Let me tell your neighbor, learn the lessons and forget the details. Tell somebody else, learn the lessons and forget the details. King David, please come. Now, everybody look up. The reason why you must learn to forge ahead in life, no matter the errors you make, is that life is designed oftentimes to hold us in our past. Oh, I took a stupid step. I did something crazy, blah, blah, blah. You want to move. Just hold me a little bit. Okay. King David is symbolizing like my past. You are not my pastor. But you're just for example. And because I'm thinking and dwelling so much in it, every attempt to move. Someone has abused me. Someone has defiled me in the past, and you want to move, but the knowledge, the pain, the mistake of the past holds you, and you can't gain progress with life because you are dwelling in the past. But when you forget the details and you learn the lessons, you move freely into your future. And all of the mistakes become reference points to others not to fall into the same traps. And when you sight such traps in the future, you know how to navigate through them. Thank you, David. Please clap for him. All right. I said life is a journey and an adventure in multi-dimensional learnings. Life is a journey and an adventure, multi-dimensional learnings. You learn in different areas, relationship. Maybe I should say this here. I dated a girl in Covenant University. No, not that kind of dimension you may be thinking now. God have mercy on you. Towards my final year, she was not a church. These are the short. When they said she was Stephen Ogah's friends, they were asking that what happened. It's like light and darkness. Because we had the clique of those ones that they are, forget. If in short, all the law, as you put the law, they want to break the law. You put it with passion, they break it with passion. You say you can't go out, they will go out and they will come in and nothing will happen. The flashy one. So how we met, how we became friends, I can't tell. Even me, still a mystery to today. But I knew that we were friends. And those days, because she was close to me, she had to be coming for chapel service. Normally she won't come. How she gets past the, I don't know. She had a clique of friends. So she stopped moving with her friends. But I needed to learn a lesson in my adventure and relationship. So one holiday, I took two of my other friends and we went to their house to greet her. We met her father. He gave me alcohol as a welcome. As I saw the alcohol, I said, ha! This is a family I want to enter. I told my friend, as we live here, and my friend then was a pastor. Because he was not a student. He was already a pastor in the UK, and he came visiting for Christmas. We said, let's go. There's this girl. Let's go to her house. We drove. As we entered, the father landed some bottles. My friend looked at me. I looked at him. Well, that became the beginning of the end of the relationship. Now, I learned some lessons from that experience in life. So when it was time for me to begin to determine what angle I wanted to settle down relationship-wise, I knew things to watch against, things to watch at, things to run away from, and things to place as priorities. I checked the family you came from. I don't want a family that you get me high. I look at the kind of siblings you have. I remember those days when my wife was dealing with me. Oh, goodness, she dealt with me. I will send roses. So that was more than my tithe. And I will come at the weekend, I'll sit outside her door on the floor. Ha! I will sit there outside the door. And then, and she comes out. I say, hi, did you see what I sent? He said, oh, yeah, I saw it. So both of us are talking, but we are seeing the thing on the floor outside. Yeah, I saw it, thank you. It's okay, no problem. No problem, thank you. So that's why sometimes now, 10 years after, it's my turn to shine. You talk to me, don't tell me anything. Just relax. When you were keeping my roses outside, you didn't know. It was more than my tithe then. I was earning 170, I'll buy 178,000, I'll buy a bouquet of flower like 28, almost 30,000, and I'll meet it outside. Even God was angry with me then. But I was learning from different areas: relationship, financial learnings, spiritual adventure. But all of this became building blocks to the making of the man. Please don't despise anything you are learning today in any area of your life. Life will teach you lessons. Oh, I was in a relationship that was abusive. Learn and move. I dated somebody that was wrong. Good. It's a learning process, so you not date another person that is wrong. Does that make sense? Life will always, it's an adventure, multi-dimensional learnings. Life is full of questions, full of questions. And young people are full of curiosity to find answers. Oh, why am I studying this course I'm studying? I don't even know. I need to know why I'm studying it. Questions like, who will I marry? I need to know. I need to know. There are so many questions in our minds that we are struggling to find answers to. What will I do after school? I need to know. I need to know. That is bothering me. How do I become financially independent? All kinds of questions running through our mind. Life is full of questions. And as young people, we are curious to know answers. And I said here, the great misunderstanding young people make is confusing God's purpose for their lives with secondary issues like the ones I listed. We confuse it. We think that your purpose is equal to finding the right spouse. No. Many of you think that your purpose is tied to what you are studying in school. Not necessarily. Yesterday, I saw a couple of my schoolmates. One of our classmates lost the mom, so we had a burial yesterday. And interestingly, I had to conduct the burial of the mom. It was a very funny story. I didn't plan it. I was leaving the chapel. When I saw all my classmates, like, what are you guys doing? I said the mom of one of them passed. I said, okay, I'll go back just to honor the person. I went back into the chapel service. We had the service. I said, I'll follow you to the interment. I will go there. And because I was one of the senior people there, I had to take charge. So I was conducting the burial of the mom of my classmate. Now, and I saw one of them in engineering who was the photographer. He has left engineering, it's now photography. He was snapping pictures. I knew when we all used to cram formulas. Now he's doing it professionally. He had his company. He came with his guys. Some were doing videos, some were doing, but it's his company. And I sat down, I started learning. I said, so all these engineering laws now, what concerns photography with engineering laws? And hear what I said. God is more interested in who you are becoming than what you are becoming. God is more interested. I can almost say that there are almost over 50% of you will not work with what you are studying. True. I'm a pastor today. Am I doing engineering as a pastor? I did computer engineering in Covenant University, I10/ICT. Thanks, that's our club. We are the ones. But I'm not using nothing. Not nothing. It's Bible now. So you studying architecture. It was intentional. You don't know what you'll be doing tomorrow. You may open a fashion shop, right? You may be doing something else. Over 50% of you here, and that's the reality of life. I said one of the best guys, he came out with 5.0 in our set. He's an account officer now in the bank. So it doesn't matter. God is more interested in who you are becoming than what you are becoming. Let that settle in your mind. And that is tied to identifying our purpose on the earth. So we all must keep striving. That's foundational. Thank God I'm studying this, I'm studying that. I want to be this, I want to be that. That's good. I want to get married to a smart person. Good. But God is more interested in who are you becoming as a person. Are you fulfilling his call for your life? Are you fulfilling his purpose for your destiny than what you are becoming? Gradually, we are coming to an end. I love this man. He's still teaching the word, even in death. This man died in 2014, I think, or 15. Even in death, he's still teaching the word today. That's a life well lived. He said the greatest tragedy in life is not death, but a life without purpose. A life without purpose. And there are too many people on the street today, they have zero understanding of what they are here to do. Zero understanding. Should I shock you guys? It's possible to go to Covenant University and graduate and yet don't have discovered your purpose for life. Very possible. You could have graduated 10 years and yet have no clue about what God has brought you to this world. He said the greatest tragedy is not death, because there are people that are alive yet they are not remembered, while there are those that are long gone yet they are still being celebrated. And I said here, every human's heart yearns for a chance to fulfill purpose. Everybody's yearning, silently. I want to fulfill. There's something bigger on my inside that I need to fulfill. There's a yearning. There's a desperation to fulfill purpose on earth. When I read this many years ago, I became scared. And it was Dr. Miles who said it too. He said the wealthiest place in the world, or the wealthiest places in the world, they are not gold mines. They are not oil fields. They are not diamond mines or banks. They are not. And he said the wealthiest places, or the wealthiest place, is the cemetery. There lies companies that were never built. Businesses that were never started. Books that were never written. Schools that were never birthed. Visions that never saw the light of day. Many people die with the purpose of God inside them, and they are buried with it. By the time you put all of those potentials together, the burial ground, the cemetery is the wealthiest place. Wealthiest place. Too many people go to their graves with their visions, their dreams, their aspirations, with the purpose of God in their lives. They die with it. Now, just think about the chancellor, for instance. See all of the things that God has used one man to stir up. Imagine he never understood his purpose for life, and all of these things goes with him to the grave. You know how many thousands and millions of destinies that were tied to one? Our church membership is in millions across the nations of the earth, and all of them waiting for one man to say the word. Covenant University has graduated well over 20 to 30,000 graduates. No matter whether you didn't like him, you can't deny that you know him. True of us. Come on, answer me, true of us. Is there anybody that will pass through Covenant University grant as a student that will say he doesn't know the chancellor? He must have shouted at you at one point or the other. You can't. And many of them is after they leave, they say, I thank God for him, sir. The things he was telling us is now I understand. You see the churches, church network, out of one man, over 20,000 churches globally. You see the schools? You see the bank? You see the institutions, the cities? All from the fountains of one man's vision. You can't tell how big the dreams and the visions and the purpose that God has loaded on your inside. May none of us here go to the grave with all of those things. Those were the things I will be praying in school. I'll be like, Lord, I know there are things you've ordained for me to get done. I don't want to die with those things. No. I'm already born. I can't unborn myself. That one is a closed chapter. Let me maximize the journey. Even if I didn't want to be born, I've got good news for you. Even if you didn't want to be born, it's too late. You're already born. So why not make the most of this adventure? Make the most of it. Just tell Miles Monroe that said you should die empty. Die empty. May every dream that God has placed in your heart, may they become realities. If you are designed and destined to own companies, may those companies become realities. If you are destined to be a leader in government, to shape the destiny of a people, may that dream become a reality. Many of you will be writing books. Some of you will be singing songs. Some will be starting businesses, fashion houses, schools, whatever. Whatever you are called to do will bless humanity. Now, how then do I maximize this journey of life? And I just listed a few points. Number one, remain teachable. Remain teachable. Remain teachable. And that's a major challenge in our generation. Many young people are too proud to be taught. They are even too proud for God, to be guided by God. I know the Bible says the meek will he guide in judgment. The meek will he teach his ways. God is only committed to guiding the humble. Be teachable. Be teachable. Be hungry for knowledge. Go after this thing. It will always show at the end. Number 2, be committed to continuous learning. Be committed to it. Study. I remember those days we'll be reading books, 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. Eat That Frog, Brian, all kinds of books we were reading, understanding vision, understanding divine direction. I remember one of those days I locked myself in the hostel for about 2 days. During the holidays, I told my friends, don't look for me, I won't be available. I'm locking myself up. I want to understand where I'm going with life, and I carried those books. I sat down with my journal, my Bible, Understanding Vision, Understanding Divine Direction, 2 small books written by the Chancellor. Be committed to continuous learning. No one is too big to learn. Number 3, don't just stop at learning. Start putting those things to work. Now you have come here, we've shared a few things with you guys. Go back and settle down. Okay, what are my goals? And how do I commit myself to accomplishing these goals? How do I keep them in front of me? Do I need to write them and see them every time? Put those things you learn to work. Number 4, and this is a little bit unconventional, don't be afraid to fail. Don't be afraid. The reason why many people don't take steps is that they are scared of failure. If I try this, what if it fails? What if it fails? What if it fails? But let me ask you, what if it doesn't fail? Do you know that there are even lessons to learn even in failure? There are lessons to learn. You learn how not to do it that way. So never be afraid to fail. When you are not scared of failure, then the confidence to take steps comes. Number 5, and this is where we'll stop today. Remain thankful every day. Remain thankful. That means just live a life of gratitude. At every phase, in every situation, at all times. A lifestyle of gratitude. Why? Why is this? Why is that crucial? There's nothing any man has or any woman has that we have not received. 1 Corinthians 4, verse 20. The Bible says, what maketh you differ one from another? What makes you feel you are any better than the other person? Or what have you that you have not received? None of us was born with money. As you were born, you came with $100, or you came with suit. We all came the same way, and we all live the same way. So whatever we get in this span of lifetime is as received by God. And so if we have received it from him, we are not authorized to boast about it. Does that make sense? So it is wisdom to remain thankful and grateful as God keeps changing your levels. You move from 100 level to 200 level, Lord, I'm grateful. You move from first semester to second semester. Your financial thing is increasing from 100,000 to 150. That is becoming your own. You are grateful for it. Nothing ever finishes in the hand of a thanksgiver. Things only finish in the hand of an ungrateful person. If you have been blessed, give the Lord a big hand. Amen. How many of you are still with me today? Can I see your hand? You still believe you are going somewhere? Come on, are you going somewhere? Yes, speak like confident. Are you going somewhere? Yes, are you ready to take the future? Yes, are you ready to do great things with God? Yes, and God working with them. And the end result is signs and wonders. You can't work with God and not become a sign and a wonder. So as this journey of life becomes very intentional, Very intentional. You are setting goals and milestones intentionally. Others may be wondering what's your problem. It's okay. Tomorrow we tell. The future we tell. You are hungry for knowledge and you are devouring things, and there's just a sense of seriousness about you that saying your own is too much. It's okay. It's okay. I close with this story. A man came to my office in 2013. I was the church administrator at Faith Tabernacle, 2013. That's 10 years ago. Woo, Steve, you're getting old, man. 10 years ago. And I knew him to be a friend to the chancellor, childhood friend. And the chancellor had introduced him to me some time ago, and we had gotten him to do some work here on the campus. And we had traveled one time before then, and we had a very funny story. The three of us were to go, the chancellor, myself, and him. So we were flying to, I think, Ilorin and Abuja. So we got into the private jet. I had 2 bags, one for the chancellor, briefcases, one mine. So the man just walked in just walked in. So when we sat in the plane, I placed the chancellor's bag where it should be. I placed my own bag where it should be. So we sat down. We took off. In the air, I got up, arranged his table, put his journal, set everything up, put his water. And so I went back to my side, set up my own, brought out my books, brought out my journal, arranged my bag. And both of us started walking. So the chancellor was walking here, I was walking there. So he felt unserious. You know when you are in that kind of environment and everybody is serious walking and you, the old man, you are looking around. You didn't have any book, nothing to fake that you are reading, nothing to write. So he look. I was watching him from the corner of my eye. And then he just brought out his phone. I started playing with his phone. So that whole atmosphere made him look unserious. And I was sorry it happened. So a few days later, I walked to my office and he said to me, I said, "What can I do for you, sir?" He said, I just came. Can I talk to you for him? I said, "Yes, please sit down." He said, "I came to encourage you." I was like, "Encourage me? Okay. He said, "I've watched the path of life you are taking. I just want to encourage you that continue on that path that's taking you somewhere." I said, "Okay, thank you, sir." But in my mind, I was like, I know what I'm doing now. I am very conscious of what I'm doing. And then he said, "Can I tell you a story?" I said, "Yes, sir." He said, "Will you ever believe that the chancellor used to squat in my house?" You know what it means to squat? Do you know squatting? That means you don't have where to crash. You crash in your friend's place. That means you don't have a house for yourself. So you go to your friend's place, say, "Oh boy, can I sleep here?" I said, "Okay, you patch, we'll share bed now, no problem. Keep your bag here." The chancellor. He said those days when he didn't have his own apartment, he would come and stay with me. He said, but there was this seriousness about his life. He said, when we are having fun as young boys and doing this and doing that, you will just see him in one corner studying, writing, planning. And he said, "What is your own? Are you the only one that want to have a future?" He said, "If I had known that I was preparing for a tomorrow like this," he said, "I would have followed." He said, "But now the gap is like heaven and earth." I said in my heart, it's not heaven and earth, it's heaven and hell. But I didn't say it out. He said, "The gap is like heaven and earth." He said, "Where do I start from?" I couldn't tell him to start because there's no point. Where do you want to start from? To catch up. Where? And when the man left, encouraging me, I thanked him and I locked my door. And I said, I prayed a prayer. I said, "Lord, may my own case be like the chancellor's one. And better, not like this one." Does that make sense? I'm saying this to you now, that as you begin to take on a whole dimension of seriousness about your future, don't be discouraged by what people will say. Are you hearing what I'm saying? The future will set the pace for the difference. By the time you are high up there, doing great things, and they are still struggling, they will understand the building blocks that you are taking today. Rise to your feet. All right. Okay. All right. Have you learned anything at all? Come on, have you learned anything? How many of you are ready on this adventure with me? You are ready to go on this journey? How many of you are very confident that your tomorrow is very enviable, it's very bright, and you are sure you'll get there? Are you sure you'll get there?
Yes,
come on, are you sure you'll get there?
Yes,
and you are sure you'll still be looking as young as you are and you'll be doing great things? Yes, both the male and the female, you'll be looking very young and you'll be doing great things. In fact, you know what I see? There are a time will come for somebody here that they will be hearing the things you are doing, and when they see you, they will not know you are the same person. You didn't catch that. That means they will hear the great things that God is doing through you, and when they see you, they say, are you the one? You say, I'm the one. Are you the one? No. You don't match the things we are saying. You look too young for this kind of results we are hearing. That's what will be happening to somebody here. Are you ready for that journey? It will happen. In Jesus' name.